Okay, so as Jane said, hi everyone, my name's Nadia and this is
Margaret Hardman.
And we're here today to talk to you a little bit about
my life.
That's right, we're going to talk about your life. So unlike Rhiannon and Emma, who are obviously sisters and have a very strong relationship, Margaret and I have known each other for about a year, and I'm employed as your lifestyle facilitator.
Yes.
Is that right? So I came into Margaret's life to help her widen her connections and find more interesting things to do in the community. Okay, so to start off, Margaret's going to tell us a little bit about her life. So can you tell us about this photo?
This is a photo of my family and all my brothers and sisters and my mum and dad.
And your nieces and nephews too.
Yeah.
You've got a big family, don't you? And you have lots of roles within that. You're a daughter, a sister, an aunt, and a godmother too.
Yeah.
Okay. And how about this photo?
This is a photo of my circle group.
Yeah. And who are the people who are in your circle of support?
My mum and dad and my two brothers and my two sisters and circle friends.
And some friends. Lovely. And what do they do? Why does your circle of support exist? What do they do?
They help me get moved out.
They helped you move out of your parents' home?
Yes.
And you have meetings, don't you, where you talk about your life and your future and make plans?
Yes.
Okay, and how about this photo?
This is a photo of me at my work.
Okay, and where do you work?
I work at Myers at Macquarie Centre.
And how long have you worked there for?
For 22 years.
It's quite an achievement, isn't it? And do you like your job? How do you feel about it?
Oh, I love it.
Okay, and how about this photo, these photos?
This is a photo of me at home, outside my unit.
Great, and there's also a photo there of you with some neighbours too.
Yes, so we had a Christmas gathering.
Yeah.
And all the neighbours came.
So as you mentioned, you've lived in your own home for about 3 years now.
Yes.
And what do you like about living in your own home?
Well, it's been very good and I'm enjoying it.
Yeah. Okay. And what about this?
This is my choir.
What's the name of your choir?
The Harmony Highlights.
Great. And how often do you rehearse with them?
Every Wednesday.
And how do you get to and from the choir rehearsals?
With a friend.
That's right, so she picks you up and takes you home.
Yeah.
Great. Okay.
And this is craft night.
So we call it craft night, but it's otherwise known as the Epping, Weavers, Embroiders and Spinners Club, the EWES. And what do you do there?
I do cross stitch, and the ladies do weaving and spinning, and also knitting.
Yeah, that's right. And how often do you go to that?
Every second Tuesday.
That's right. Okay. And how about this great photo in action?
At Tai Chi.
Yes. And how often do you go to Tai Chi?
Every Monday.
Right. Okay, so it's quite a full life, isn't it?
It is,
Lots of things are happening.
Yes.
Okay, so here's a bit of a snapshot of an average week for you.
Yep.
So we've got Tai Chi on Mondays.
Yep.
Working at Myers 3 times a week.
Yes.
Choir rehearsals every Wednesday.
Yep.
Go to the gym a few times a week.
Yes.
You go there by yourself.
That's right.
Met some people there, haven't you?
Yeah, I have, yes.
You've got craft night.
Yes.
And you volunteer at an office.
That's
what
right.
do you do when you're at the office?
I do a bit of volunteering, and I make the ladies a cup of tea, do busting.
Lots of helpful things.
Yes, very, yeah.
And sometimes you do choir performances.
That's very true, yes.
And you've got some coming up, don't you, for Christmas?
I have, yes.
You're rehearsing for that. You might have afternoon tea with a neighbour.
That's right,
And you might spend time with family and friends.
That's very true.
Okay. So now we're going to move on to my role. So in last year, Margaret's Circle of Support decided that more action needed to be taken to help Margaret develop more connections in the community. So she already had lots of great things going on. She lived in her own home, you went to the gym, you got the bus to work, you had your choir, so lots of good things happening. But there's always more, isn't there? And there's more relationships to make and more people in your community to know.
That's very true, yes.
Yes. So that's why I was employed as your lifestyle facilitator last year. So I think it's our 1 year anniversary this month.
That's right, yes.
And I'm hired, supervised and supported by Margaret's family.
That's right.
And I'm paid by a service provider. But I have almost no contact with them. I basically send my invoices in a couple times a month. And other than that, I get all the other support I need from your family.
That's right, yes.
Okay. Okay, so this is the first steps when I was first started working with you. And we had to get to know each other, didn't we?
That's right,
We didn't really know anything about each other.
No.
So unlike Emma and Rhiannon, who obviously have such a strong relationship and they intimately know so many details about each other and what they like and don't like, we didn't know these things about each other.
No.
So what kind of things were we doing in the early days to get to know each other?
I took it out into the community and got to know the area.
That's right, so you showed me all around your suburb and where your gym was and the hairdresser and where you shopped.
That's right, yes.
And we went on some bushwalks.
That's very true, yes.
And what else do we do? I think we look at the birds on the balcony and we did different things to get to know each other.
Yes.
So from that, I started to discover your interests and gifts.
Yeah.
And some of these are pretty obvious. So for example, embroidery.
That's right.
And I think I figured that out because you have pictures of the embroidery you've done across your house.
That's right, yes.
Birds.
Yeah.
You have quite a lot of different bird ornaments around your house and a bird clock, and
that's right.
We'd often talk about the birds that would land on your balcony, wouldn't we?
Yeah, we did, yes.
And your musicality, which I think a lot of people might have witnessed last night if you saw Margaret on the dance floor. She's got amazing rhythm and also a great singer.
Thank you.
No problem. And we have a shared passion for Michael Jackson.
That's very good.
Walking, so you like bushwalking and walking around the streets of the community.
That's very true.
Mahjong.
Yeah.
And how did I find out that you liked Mahjong?
Oh, well, Mahjong I usually play on the computer.
Yeah, and you showed me how you did it and you're really good at it.
I am, yes.
Yeah, very fast. And jigsaws. There's often a jigsaw at Margaret's house on the table that's half finished and
that's very true.
Working your way through. And some of these interests emerge over time through conversations. And one of these was ping pong.
Yes.
As I remember, you came home from a holiday earlier this year with your family, and I asked you what you'd been up to, and amongst many things, you said, "Oh, we played ping pong." And I said, "Did you play?" You said, "Yeah, of course. I'm really good." So that was new for me. I had no idea. So do you want to just tell people about how you learned to play ping pong and where the interest came from?
Well, I played when my mum and dad had it at their place, and I got the hang of it.
Yeah. And another one I figured out just last night was your awesome tambourine playing. So another one to add to the list.
Yeah. That's because I had one.
That's right. You did what you had to do. Okay. Okay, so from those interests, and this has been talked about quite a lot, I think, in this conference, about getting to know the person, finding out the interest, and then going from there.
That's very true.
So these are some of the ideas I came up with based on Margaret's interests. So we had a bird watching club, and there are actually a lot across Sydney, a bushwalking club, dance classes, the Mahjong club, there's one just up the road, ping pong at the YMCA, also up the road, an embroidery club, and a jigsaw group, which is something that doesn't exist, but we thought maybe we could form. And most of that I found out through the internet, through council websites, local newspapers and library and community notice boards. Most of this research I did at home, so obviously I worked on the information I had from Margaret and also from her family, so her family gave me a lot of information about her history and what they knew about you.
That's right.
And then I'd kind of feed back. So I might send an email to Margaret's family saying, here are some ideas. I'd have a chat to Margaret. I remember we talked about dance classes and and you weren't interested at all. So that was out. And so that's how we progressed, and we started filtering the ones that we might pursue. Okay, so it was about finding the right match. And I think Meg talked about this a bit yesterday, kind of going through and ticking different boxes to make sure it will actually fit and work.
Yeah.
So, thinking about the people, are they a similar age group, generation? Are they the right gender? You don't want to be stuck in a room with a whole bunch of men, do you?
Definitely not.
The timing, does it fit in with your life? Because you've got quite a busy life already, lots of things happening.
That's very true, yes.
It has to fit in. The setting, is it comfortable and welcoming? Is it local and easy to get to?
That's right.
And is it frequent and regular? So this would mean that you can meet the same people, get to know them, and it's regular enough so you become comfortable and they become comfortable with you as well.
Yeah.
And so, just as an example, the bird watching club was something that I thought could work really well, but we decided it wasn't going to work because they had a membership of about 500 people. They met across Sydney on all different days and different places. It'd be hard to get to, and there was no guarantee you'd be meeting the same people. There's so many different people coming in and out that it'd be hard to form any kind of real relationship there, so we didn't pursue that one. But what we did pursue was the Epping Weavers, Embroiders and Spinners Club. And as you can see, that's a beautiful photo of one of the embroideries you've done.
Yes.
And flowers. And so this is just ticking the boxes. So the people were women about the same age as Margaret. It's a night when Margaret's available. It's in a local community hall that we could get to. And it's regular and frequent. So every second Tuesday night, and the same women came regularly. Okay, so here are some photos.
Yep.
Some of the ladies. And so I thought we could tell people a bit about how your feeling about being at the craft night has changed over time. So
it has, yes.
When you first started going, how did you feel about being there?
Nervous.
That's right.
Because I didn't know anyone.
Yeah, that's right. And I think I did too, actually. Yeah. So we went there on the first time, and I think we both felt a bit uncomfortable because they obviously all knew each other and they were sitting in a circle, and we didn't know where to sit or what to do. And
no, that's very true.
Yeah. So it was a bit uncomfortable, but over time that's changed. And how do you feel about it now?
I enjoy going.
Yeah.
It's been wonderful.
And you've met a lot of the ladies, haven't you?
I have.
You know all their names, and they all know you as well.
That's very true, yes.
Yeah. Okay. And when we first started going to the craft night, how did we get there and back?
We walked.
That's right. And we got a taxi.
A taxi home.
Yeah, that's right. And now how do you get to and from?
I get a lift with a friend.
That's right. So one of the ladies at the craft club gives Margaret a lift to and from now. And I think partly that's come around because I don't have a car.
That's
which
right.
Sometimes is a bit of a bugger because it means you can't do awesome things. But in this case it's worked out really well because on one night I said I need to go early. So I just, Margaret and I just said, look, Margaret needs to get a lift home. Is anyone able to do that? And one woman willingly offered and has ever since been taking Margaret. So it's worked out really well.
That's right, yes.
And the other thing is that I'm not going as frequently anymore with you, am I?
No, you're not.
Yes. So I just go, are you happy about that? So I just go once a month now with Margaret, and that's just to make sure everything's going fine. And but other than that, Margaret, you're very comfortable there. And
I am very comfortable, yes.
And the ladies are all lovely and welcoming, so it's going well. Okay, so that was that came out of brainstorming around Margaret's interests, and another way to do it is brainstorming based on roles, which is something that Meg and Jane touched on yesterday. And I went to a workshop, and this kind of stimulated my thinking around this idea of developing roles. So I made a list of all the roles I could think of that Margaret already held. And here's just a few. So you've got Margaret's family roles, the sister, daughter, aunt, godmother, her work roles, employee, co-worker, volunteer, and citizen roles. So you're a taxpayer and a rent-payer.
Right, yes.
And you're also a neighbour, but that's it. You didn't know many of your neighbours, do you?
No,
you did in the past. So we decided to work on that one. And what better way to meet the neighbours than a Christmas party?
Yes.
So we decided to organise a Christmas party at the end of last year. And do you remember how we invited everyone who was going to come in your
We put out invitations so the neighbours could come.
That's right. So we made an invitation together, and we just invited everyone in Margaret's block of units.
Yep.
And then we also talked to one neighbour you did know next door, and what did she suggest?
She suggests that we'd put out invitations.
She suggested that there's some people in the block next door
would like to come.
That's right. So she knew 3 people in a big block next door and said, oh, they're really lovely, maybe we could invite them as well. So we got their numbers and we invited them as well.
Yes.
Okay. Getting ready.
Yeah.
Getting the nibblies ready.
Getting ready for the party, yeah.
Okay. And here's a lovely photo. So it was a great success. It was a lovely day.
It was, yes.
And do you remember what some of the people were saying about the day?
They loved it. They really enjoyed coming.
And a lot of people said they met new people. They hadn't really, nothing like this had been organised in many years that anyone knew of. And they met new people as well as Margaret.
That's right.
And Margaret was the organiser as well. So she was in a very valued role there.
That's very true, yes.
And one of your neighbours from the block next door that Kate had recommended, she did something to thank you.
She wrote a letter saying, thank you very much for having me.
Yeah, she was really grateful that we invited her. She had a great time. And so what did we decide to do in response?
We took her out for afternoon tea.
That's right. So we thought, well, and you also, I should mention that Margaret had sat next to Judith on the day. So they'd spent quite a bit of time together and had a few things in common and got along well. And so I think we went over to her house, we knocked on the door and just said, look, would you like to come for afternoon tea?
That's right, yes.
And she said she'd love to. She was
happy about that coming, yes.
Yes. And so you've had her over to your house a few times now, haven't you?
That's very true, yes.
Yeah, about 3 times. And she's invited us. She's taken us out for coffee and we've discovered you have a few similar interests. So she's
that's right,
big on jigsaws as well.
That's very true, yes.
Yes, that's been lovely. Meeting Judith, sorry, I should have flicked there. So there's Judith and Margaret together, the block next door. Okay. So trying something new, Tai Chi. So this didn't come exactly from an interest that Margaret already had, but I saw it on one of the local council websites and it fitted in with the time. It looked like it was the right age group, and I thought, well, why not? It could be something that she might enjoy. So I suggested the idea at the end of last year, and do you remember how you reacted when I first suggested?
I wasn't sure.
That's right. I think you pretty much blankly said no. Which is really understandable because you didn't know what it was.
That's very true, yes.
I don't know if you'd ever seen Tai Chi or...
No, definitely not.
Didn't have much of an idea of what I was talking about. So we put that on hold and decided to focus on the craft night and
that's right,
and the Christmas party. But that's right. And transport was also a potential barrier. So it was somewhere where the best way to get there is a train.
Yes.
And you're not as comfortable with trains as with buses.
No, definitely not.
Yeah. So buses you're quite happy with because you get the bus to work and
that's it. Yeah.
Easy, but trains is like gap and there's all the escalators. So yeah. So there was that as well. But since then, we've had a recommendation by Judith from next door. And so what did she say about Tai Chi?
She said, oh, because I like Tai Chi, you might like to have a go at it too.
That's right. And so she was telling us all about it and how relaxing it was, and she definitely recommended we should give it a go. And so I think you felt a bit more like, okay, maybe
we'll give it a go. Yes,
that's right. And the other thing is that our relationship has become deeper.
It has.
And I think you probably trust me more.
I do, yes.
Thank you. I'm glad you said that. Yeah. So, and it's a big point. So I think we continue to spend lots of time together that isn't just going places and then leaving. We make dinner together and we have coffees together. And we're still getting to know each other, but we definitely feel more comfortable with each other. And I can say that for myself as well. I feel comfortable with you too.
I'm very comfortable, yes.
Yes. So from that we decided to give it a go this year, and Margaret just shines. She's really good at it. You stand right in the middle there.
Yes.
And how do you feel about it?
I love it.
Yeah.
I really enjoy it.
And what do you like about it?
Well, the people, especially the people, and I just enjoy going.
Yeah. So the class we found out is mainly women about the same age as Margaret, and they're really welcoming. In fact, we found them a bit more welcoming than the craft nights. When we first went there, they were like, oh, hi, how are you? And have you done Tai Chi? You're going to love it. So, yeah, that's been really good. Okay, so impacts on Margaret's life. So obviously the big one is making relationships. So you've come into contact with so many more people
That's right.
Got all the women from craft night and Tai Chi,
Yep.
and the neighbours as well.
That's right.
And engaging with others around your interests. So it's a great conversation starter. When you have more things in your life, there's more things to talk about.
That's right.
So
Yes.
if someone asks you, oh, what have you been up to, Margaret?
Oh, I'm into Tai Chi, I've been to singing.
All the things. That's right.
All those things, yes.
Yes. And you might just connect with someone over one of those interests.
That's right.
Maybe they love singing, maybe they love Tai Chi.
Yeah.
Okay. It influences how you're seen by others.
That's very true, yes.
Yes. So Margaret is seen as a woman with many interests and who's very interesting because she has lots of things to talk about and reflect on. You've got many gifts and skills.
That's very true, yes.
And you have a full and meaningful life.
That's
People can
right,
see
yes.
that. And so it will change the way that they respond to Margaret and view her. Okay. And the last one is that it has really developed your skills and confidence in different areas.
That's very true.
So, for example, using emails.
Yes.
So we've been doing, the women at Craft might use emails quite a lot. They send each other photos of different things and tell each other
yes.
about different events that are coming up. And so you've been emailing them.
That's right, yes.
Yeah, and I give you a bit of support. I help with spelling and what you might
course.
say.
That's very true, yes.
I think you're getting better and better at it.
I am,
More
yes.
comfortable. Yeah. And then the other one is calling people. So I remember when we first wanted to call Judith, I think you felt a bit nervous. You weren't sure what to
Yes.
say and how it would go.
That's right.
But now
if I
that's right. And now if I say, oh, should we call Judith and she wants to have coffee? You're like, yep, no problems.
Yep.
Yeah. And as we mentioned before, getting on and off trains.
That's very true, yes.
Yes. So before you used to always hold my arm.
But I don't do that now.
That's right. You just do it yourself.
Yes.
Okay. And so all these things have led to you being here today and meeting all of these lovely new people and having this valued role here. They've led to you
Be able to speak at conferences.
That's right.